Right, Ciryl Gane and his fan base have been annoying the hell out of me, so I just had to get this off my chest, give my take on it, and guys, let me hear your thoughts on it as well. Ciryl Gane and Ciryl Gane's fans have been online talking about Ciryl Gane deserves yet another title shot, why he should be the one next in line to fight for the interim title against Tom Aspinall, and I think it's absolutely ridiculous. That is what we're going to be talking about. Why the hell does Ciryl Gane get infinite title shots? No, dude, you're getting back in the contenders pool. Right, so if you haven't heard, okay, Tom Aspinall has been doing the rounds, doing some interviews, and he keeps on pushing this fight with Stipe Miocic since it seems like Jon Jones is going to be sitting out for quite a while. And I've already talked about this a lot on this channel. I believe Jon Jones is going to be out a lot longer than 8 months, purely because Jon Jones is not a natural heavyweight. It took him a year and a half to build his body up to heavyweight at the gym, and he comes in at like a sloppy 245 or something like that. He's torn his pec muscle. By the time the pec muscle heals, then he's going to be able to get back in the gym. Then he's going to be able to start putting muscle back on. We're going to be sitting around waiting for Jon Jones to come back to heavyweight for a very long time. And I feel like the heavyweight division has just been in this stagnant limbo ever since, God, I don't know, 2018 or something. We need to get this division moving properly. So what does that mean? That means we need to get Tom Aspinall a fight. We need to get Tom Aspinall moving, and he's been doing everything correctly. He's getting on every camera and every microphone that he can and pushing forward for the Stipe Miocic fight. If Stipe wants to stay ranked at heavyweight, if he wants to pretend that he's not a retired fighter, then he can get in the goddamn cage. You don't just get a free legacy fight for a championship belt because you were one of the greats. Now, some people disagree with that. They seem to think that because you were really good at MMA 50 years ago, you could walk back into a championship fight whenever you want. And even though you were knocked out last time you were in the cage, Tom Aspinall should just go ahead and fight Ciryl Gane because Stipe's legacy is so great, he deserves that fight against Jon Jones. To me, that is complete rubbish, and I'll tell you why. I have nothing personally against Ciryl Gane. I think he's a great character in MMA. He's perfectly fine. I really enjoy his fighting style as a stand-up striker in heavyweight that has really good flowy movement. It's something that we do not get to see a lot in the heavyweight division. And one day, when Ciryl Gane does fight Tom Aspinall, it is going to be an amazing fight because they're both so good on the feet for heavyweight. But Ciryl Gane has been in and out of the title picture since 2001. He's been gifted title shots because essentially he was the most marketable face at heavyweight from like 2020, 2021, 2022. He was the man at heavyweight. The interim title against Derek Lewis, when he initially got his first shot at a title, it was like a fun matchup. It was a fun fight, but we're not exactly talking about a championship caliber fighter in Derek Lewis, are we? Like, I mean, we love Derek Lewis. If you're a fan of MMA, if you're a fan of the UFC, you love Derek Lewis, but he's not exactly like championship material. He's just got a bomb of a hand, and if it lands on you, you're going to sleep. So Ciryl Gane's initial interim title fight was fun, but we're not exactly talking high-level heavyweight here, are we? So he was sort of gifted an interim title in that sense. Then he famously lost to Francis Ngannou, then beats Tai Tuivasa and got rocked against Tai Tuivasa as well. Then famously lost to Jon Jones, and pretty, like, honestly here, he embarrassed the entire UFC marketing division. He was meant to be like one of the most skilled fighters at heavyweight, but recently he's been completely exposed for having zero ground game. And this is where the issue comes in. Just because you beat Sergey Spivak doesn't mean you get an automatic next title shot. I want to bring up here Justin Gaethje. At this point, Justin Gaethje has done everything a contender needs to do to get himself back into the title picture. And look at the up-and-coming contenders that Gaethje took on, yeah? He took on Fiziev. He took on Poirier, who isn't exactly an up-and-coming contender, but that's a dangerous fight. Now he's ready to step back into a title picture, and he deserves another title shot. I don't think anyone would argue against Gaethje. And then the next person that I want to bring up in this example is Max Holloway, someone who's become so annoying and persistently good that there's actually been talk of him versus Volkanovski 4, right? And that sounds ridiculous. It's not ridiculous that there's going to be a Holloway-Volkanovski 4. It's just ridiculous to say that we're going to watch these guys fight each other 4 times. That's how much of an annoying mosquito Holloway has been and just kept chipping away at the contenders. And again, you can look at the work that Robert Whittaker did to get himself back into a title picture. Same work that Jared Cannonier did to get himself back into a title picture. The list can go on and on of fighters who have grinded their way back into the title picture. And Ciryl Gane has done what? He's done what to get back into a title picture? What's he done? He's fought Sergey Spivak, and he's acting like he deserves a title shot now. That is not going to get you a title shot, Ciryl Gane. And to add further insult to the industry, and to add further insult to the injury, there we go, of him calling for a title shot, is the fact that Tom Aspinall did so much work to create an England versus France mega event. That would have sold huge ticket numbers. Like, the sporting culture in England and France, the amount of history that they have together to put on a heavyweight contenders #1 fight at the O2 Arena, at somewhere in Paris. To Europeans, I know Americans might not understand this because they probably don't get the rivalry between those two countries, but to Europeans, it would have been one of the biggest sporting events of the year. So Tom Aspinall flies all the way to Paris, stands in the front row, the UFC, ESPN, all the cameras are on Ciryl Gane, and Ciryl Gane literally gave Tom Aspinall the cold shoulder. And I made a video in that moment talking about what a massive mistake that was for Ciryl Gane. And people were defending Gane. People were defending him, saying that's just not his style, he's a quiet dude, he doesn't talk trash. Like, he didn't have to talk any trash, yeah? He could have just turned around, literally said to Tom Aspinall that he believes he's the greatest. Like, Ciryl could have turned around, faced Tom Aspinall, grabbed the microphone, and just said, I am the greatest fighter in the UFC. And like, that's all that, there just needed to be something. It didn't have to be relentless trash talking. And he didn't want that fight. He didn't want that fight. And then Ciryl Gane went and did an interview afterwards saying that he's only interested in the title. And I was like, dude, you don't deserve a title shot off one win against Sergey Spivak. You don't deserve a title shot off that. And now Tom Aspinall is the champion and Ciryl Gane is left holding the bag. And we need to see Ciryl Gane's wrestling tested. We still need to see that. And there is a rising up and coming contender, much like Fiziev was to Gaethje, much like Dricus du Plessis was to Whittaker, much like Arnold Allen was to Max Holloway. There is a rising heavyweight contender named Jailton Almeida. And Ciryl Gane needs to fight Jailton Almeida. So suck it up, Frenchman. Suck it up. Right, that's all I wanted to get off my chest today. Sorry if that was a bit of a rant. Maybe I'm being a little bit too harsh on Ciryl Gane. I do really like hearing different perspectives on this, and I like hearing your feedback. So let me know down in the comments, do you think that it's Ciryl Gane next for Tom Aspinall? Or should it be Stipe Miocic? Who do you think is right for Tom Aspinall next? Why should it be Ciryl Gane if you do believe that it is Ciryl Gane? Let me know down there in the comments. If you're still watching this deeply into the video, that means maybe you have been entertained in some way. So if you could do me a favor before you go and click on your next video, if you could click that subscribe button, it means so much to small creators like me. And if in the future, after seeing my content pop up on your screen for like a week, you're not into it, that's all good. You can always unsubscribe, that's fine. It's good with me. Thanks so much for watching this one. And of course, I'll see you all in the next video.